Well, it's been a while since Manchester United's crowd reacted like that to a goal at Old Trafford. Janusz Michallik. That was because it was in good old-fashioned Fergie time, and it got them all 3 points against West Ham.
Mark, it felt like a big game, didn't it? I mean, it's one of those things that, all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, Manchester United on fourth place in the Premier League, and they're not really good. I don't even think their fans think that as well. So it felt big because of the energy of the team, right? I mean, so much has been said about Manchester United, Ralf Rangnick, if he's good, better, indifferent, and his relationship with players, Ronaldo not being happy, and all those stories. Even Anthony Martial, and look at the goal. I mean, look at the way it develops so very late with Cristiano Ronaldo driving through the midfield, Martial being involved as well, Cavani, another player that hasn't played a lot or great for that matter, putting it across, and of course Marcus Rashford. I was wondering how long are we going to talk about Marcus Rashford and his potential? Well, scored in the last game, now a second goal on the trot for him as well. So yes, it is a massive win. You can forget for a few seconds, for a day or two, about everything else that goes around Manchester United, because they're in a good position in the table, let's face it.
For all the energy and effort that both sides put into that, there weren't many attempts on target. That's one of these games you might look back on as a Man United fan at the end of the season and go, that was a massive 3 points compared to the 1 point it might have been.
Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was an exciting and entertaining game between both sets of players having a go at it. Yes, it was kind of nearly headers, right? Glancing headers. Varane had some. Ronaldo, I think, had one as well, and Thomas Suchek right there in the end came somewhat close as well. So maybe not the quality in front of the goal, but I just love the energy, in particular for Manchester United on Old Trafford, because we kind of haven't seen that.
I've lost count of how many times you and I have done post-game Premier League matches when we've spoken about VAR, and I thought it was going to be another opportunity to do so, because when the replay came in, and at first you kind of thought, oh, he might be, then the replay came in, you thought, he is offside. But they fixed that pretty quickly, and he was onside. That would have taken the whole energy down about 6 or 7 notches. It was done pretty quick. It's what we want, but was it the right call?
I don't know, because it took about 3 seconds, and we've seen so many during the season where it's just, not even inches, and it takes 5 minutes to do it because it's that close. I mean, I'll tell you what, for a second there, when it was planned, I thought he might have been off. They've decided very, very quickly in the end that it wasn't. So, I'm going to leave it at that, because I've seen games, I've seen those lines where you say to yourself, oh my goodness. But anyway, I think it happened very quickly. So I think we're happy about that, and we're going to leave it at that. By the way, Mark, I think, West Ham, what a performance from them. I mean, we can't forget about them.
No, they're a good side. They're a good side. But for United, Rashford scoring again, coming off the bench, Cavani off the bench as well. What does that tell us about the strength in depth in forward areas that Ralf Rangnick has to choose from? Because they've struggled a little bit as far as injury and illness is concerned, but when everybody's fit, has he got a selection headache?
He does, but I think that question is unanswered, because ultimately, I mean, it was a good win today. I think we're going to see many games where Manchester United are going to struggle, right? Because this is not what Ralf Rangnick envisions, not just for himself at this moment. But I think ultimately when he goes upstairs and picks a manager, and I have to think that he's going to want to play with young players, without fear, players that can run and press all day long. So I think, I still think this is just the beginning of the revolution or evolution of Manchester United, something that, again, I'll come back very quickly, because look, I mean, the bottom line is here, speaking of evolution, look at West Ham, Mark. I mean, they came here they came here to play. Even the commentators, just before Manchester United scored, said, look at West Ham pushing for 3 points. I mean, that's not normal. That's not usual at Old Trafford. That's not normal for West Ham. And certainly, maybe Davy Moyes is getting rid of his, pragmatic label, because they really wanted and felt like they could and should win here. They weren't far away.
And I think that's refreshing. And I want to talk about West Ham now, because Jared Bowen just continues to go from strength to strength and is attracting some very attractive glances from elsewhere, the way that he's playing. But they started the game in fourth position. And okay, they're not there now, but they seem to believe that they belong now. And that's been a long time coming for the Hammers.
Yes, and that's very important. It's just a question of, again, how do you keep this together? I mean, Declan Rice, again, unbelievably good in between. Sometimes he very often doesn't stand out. And by the way, for years I had reservations about him, so that serves me right that I'm singing his praises right now. But I think 56 passes that he connected. I think that's like almost 97% throughout this game against Manchester United and Old Trafford. Wonderful. You talked about Bowen. He's only 30 kilometers away from Liverpool. Probably a place that his profile would serve well. So look, I mean, this is a good team that had a great start. They had a wobble, didn't they? Now they came out of it, but now let's face it, they just lost to Leeds United at home 3-2 just a couple of days ago, and bit of a heartbreaker here because you can't say they deserve to lose in this game. A draw would probably have been fair.
Yeah, I think they'll be there or thereabouts if they can keep their key players in this January transfer window come the end of the season competing for this fourth spot. But I want to end with a chat about the fourth spot and Manchester United. Look, Spurs have got games in hand, as have Arsenal and a few others as well. There was a time a few weeks ago we weren't even mentioning Man United as serious candidates to finish fourth. Do we have to take them seriously now? Because this could be a huge 3 points.
I have been consistent here. I've always felt that they're going to find a way. Now, I must tell you that I thought that the reaction to Ralf Rangnick may have been, I don't want to say immediate, but a little bit better. There's still doubts about him, and I don't like that because I think we all understand why and what for he was brought into Manchester United, right? Now, some will say that ultimately if things go well, he may want to stay and continue to manage. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if he should. But I felt that United just have enough talent and enough in there to finish fourth, and I'm going to continue saying that because at least I know I don't have to feel like a hypocrite. And, there's some other situations when I do. I just mentioned Declan Rice. Right, didn't see it initially, and he's proving me wrong.
What an ending at Old Trafford! United fans absolutely loved that, and Sir Alex, in Sir Alex Ferguson time, will be pretty happy as well. United win it, and they're up to 4.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.